The lack of bathing, royal women, and their filthy rituals. One of the most surprising aspects of royal hygiene during many eras was the complete disregard for regular bathing. While some royal women could afford lavish baths, the frequency and quality of these baths were often incredibly poor. In medieval and Renaissance Europe, bathing was seen as a luxury that many royal women could not partake in regularly, despite their status and wealth. Royal women in the Middle Ages, for instance, often went months without bathing. The concept of cleanliness was not as advanced as we know it today. In fact, some believed that water itself could open the pores and invite disease, making baths a potential health hazard. This belief led to a widespread reluctance to bathe regularly, not just among royalty but throughout the general population. Instead of frequent baths, royal women often relied on dry cleaning methods, such as rubbing their skin with cloths or powders to remove dirt and absorb sweat. For example, many queens of the period, including those in France and England, would use scented powders or perfumes to mask the unpleasant smells that inevitably came with lack of proper washing. However, these temporary fixes did little to address the buildup of body oils, dirt, and bacteria. Additionally, when royal women did bathe, it wasn't always in the most sanitary conditions. Bathing was often done in large wooden tubs, which were shared by multiple people, sometimes even by multiple royal members at once. The water, after being used by a queen or princess, would often be reused by others in the household, leading to unhygienic conditions. For example, Queen Elizabeth I of England, famously known for her intricate beauty rituals, had a strict no-bathing policy, partly due to her belief that it would be detrimental to her skin. Her court would often use highly aromatic perfumes and powders to mask the natural body odor that came with her refusal to bathe. As a result, her attendants often commented on how unpleasant the smell around the queen could be, despite her public image of cleanliness and beauty. How could these royal women, who were often surrounded by luxury, not have understood the importance of bathing? Was it due to ignorance, social norms, or a mix of both? What do you think? Could the reluctance to bathe be attributed to superstition, or was it just a product of the times? Share your thoughts in the comments. The use of toxic beauty treatments, queenly poisoning. For many royal women, maintaining their beauty and youth was paramount, and this obsession with beauty led to the use of toxic and often dangerous beauty treatments. In an era when medical science was in its infancy, royal women frequently relied on harmful substances to preserve their skin, hair, and complexion. One of the most notorious beauty practices involved the use of lead-based cosmetics. Queen Elizabeth I, once again, provides a striking example. To achieve her pale, flawless complexion, she used a mixture of lead-based white powder known as Venetian ceruse. While this cosmetic created a smooth and pale skin tone, it was incredibly toxic. Over time, the queen's application of this lead-based makeup caused her skin to deteriorate, and it is said to have contributed to her early death. But the dangers of lead-based cosmetics were not limited to England. Other royal women in Europe, especially in France and Italy, used similar toxic mixtures to lighten their skin. These beauty products, though glamorous and highly sought after at the time, were often responsible for severe health issues, including poisoning, skin burns, and premature aging. In addition to lead, many royal women also relied on arsenic-laden beauty treatments. Arsenic was often used as a tonic to achieve a youthful glow, believing that it would help to clear the complexion and give skin a radiant look. In fact, arsenic was such a popular treatment among the elite that it was sometimes referred to as the aristocrat's poison. The Queen of Spain, Isabella of Castile, is said to have used arsenic as a beauty treatment, unknowingly poisoning herself over time. The toxic beauty trends didn't stop with makeup. Some royal women used incredibly harsh methods to remove unwanted body hair, such as hot wax or rudimentary depilatories that could cause infections and scarring. These practices, combined with the use of toxic beauty products, resulted in significant physical and emotional tolls on these women, who were pressured to maintain an image of flawless perfection despite the immense harm they were doing to their bodies. Why were royal women so willing to use toxic substances despite knowing the potential risks? Did vanity overshadow common sense, or were they simply victims of the medical practices of the time? What do you think? Could modern-day beauty trends also be contributing to harmful practices, just as these toxic beauty rituals did? Share your thoughts in the comments. The disastrous hygiene practices around menstruation. For many royal women, menstruation was a taboo topic. The secrecy surrounding it often led to disturbing and unhygienic practices that put their health at risk. During medieval times, And even into the 16th century, there were no sanitary pads or tampons as we know them today. Royal women, like their subjects, were forced to deal with menstruation in ways that seem unimaginable today. One of the most common practices was the use of rags or cloths to absorb menstrual blood. These rags would be reused without proper cleaning or sterilization, leading to the spread of bacteria and infections. In the absence of modern hygiene products, royal women would often wear multiple layers of cloth or linen undergarments, which would be soaked in menstrual blood and not washed for days, resulting in unpleasant odors and a higher risk of infection. Queen Victoria of England, for example, had to use rudimentary menstrual devices during her reign. In her letters, she once remarked on the discomfort and inconvenience of her monthly cycle and the lack of effective options available to her. These early methods of managing menstruation were not only unhygienic but also often led to embarrassing situations for royal women, as they had to deal with their periods in secret. For centuries, there was little acknowledgement of the medical consequences of such practices, and many royal women suffered in silence. Poor hygiene during menstruation also led to the spread of diseases like urinary tract infections and pelvic inflammations, which were often misdiagnosed or untreated. Why did these royal women endure such unsanitary practices, and why wasn't there more attention given to their health during menstruation? What do you think? Were these practices a result of a lack of medical knowledge, or was menstruation itself seen as so shameful that women were left to deal with it alone? Share your thoughts in the comments. The perils of hair care. Royal women struggle for perfect hair. In the quest for perfect beauty, royal women often subjected their hair to harmful treatments that would be considered hazardous today. Long, lustrous hair was a symbol of wealth and beauty, and these women went to great lengths to achieve the perfect look, often using dangerous methods. One common practice among royal women, especially in France and England, was the use of hot irons to curl and style their hair. These heated devices could burn the scalp and hair, causing damage that was difficult to repair. The risk of hair loss and scalp infections was high, and many royal women were left with damaged hair after years of using hot styling tools. Additionally, some royal women used harsh chemicals, including ammonia and sulfur, to bleach their hair or achieve a lighter shade. These chemicals were not only toxic but also weakened the hair, leaving it brittle and prone to breakage. The obsession with blonde hair among European royals, like Marie Antoinette of France, led to the use of such dangerous hair treatments, causing significant damage over time. In some cases, royal women would wear elaborate wigs made from real hair, but the wigs themselves could cause scalp irritation and discomfort. The wigs were often so heavy that they could cause tension headaches and other physical ailments. In an era where beauty was defined by extreme standards, these women's hair became just another thing they had to sacrifice for the sake of perfection. Why did royal women risk their health for beauty standards that were often unrealistic and harmful? Could these dangerous hair practices have been avoided? What do you think? Are modern beauty trends similarly damaging to our health? Share your thoughts in the comments.